up, my gorgeous plant people? Welcome back to Reading Mindfully. My name is Ayana, and today I am just doing a video on my current mentality on my plants, my plant collection, or plants in general. So let's just get into it. Hey guys, like I said, I'm just doing a video just updating you guys on how I basically feel about my plants, plant collecting in general, and just how I feel about the hobby. And so I just want to make this video because I noticed that some things were changing about how I was feeling about my plant collection. And not to say that I'm not enjoying my plants, that's not true at all. I'm still enjoying my plants, but I noticed I am not as hands-on as I used to be, and which is weird because I feel like I wasn't already hands-on in the first place. But basically what my plant care is these days is just watering my plants and just checking on them probably once or twice a week, and that's pretty much it. I know before, when I was a beginning plant parent, I was checking my plants every day, and this is probably even before I had like the moisture meters and things like that. My plants are probably like, if you just don't leave me alone, we don't need any more water, we don't need any more attention, like we just want to be left alone to do our own thing. And so fast forward to today, like I'm just checking to see if they need some water. It's kind of like, a Weight Watchers meeting. I'm just seeing, you guys okay, what your status is, and then I'll see you next week kind of thing. But that's basically how I'm feeling about my plant collection. And the reason why I'm feeling this way is not because I'm falling out of love with plants or anything. It's just the fact that, there's so many other things that I need to focus on right now. I'm trying to focus on my mental health coming out of the pandemic and lockdown, going back to work full time. There's a lot of different things that has happened, especially from last year. I was working from home last year, so I didn't have to go into the office, and then we were going to the office, but it was only a couple days a week. And so now we're getting, we're going into the office every day, and sometimes at first it's like, oh, it's no big deal, like we're just going back to work. But it has been a major difference going back to work, and I didn't really take the time to understand how different it was going to be for me going back to work. Like even driving to work, I do have about an hour commute, back and forth, so it's like about 2 hours a day of driving. And going back to work, I was getting shin splints just from driving, and I knew it wasn't from anything else because it was only in one leg, and it was in my right leg, and that's the leg that I drive with. So just driving was like, shaking my body up because I hadn't been driving like that. So it is a major difference going back to work, the mental aspect, especially, with the work that I do. And so that's one thing that I've been working on. I've been trying to work on my mental health. I've also been trying to work on my overall health and making sure that I'm eating better, because God knows that has fallen off track. I know some of you guys can understand, but just to make sure that I'm back where I need to be and not focusing so much on my plants, because for lockdown, I was all about the plants. I needed the plants for my mental health. I was struggling. I was using them as a crutch. And now that I am focusing more on me, the plants have taken a little bit of a back burner. I mean, they're still doing pretty well, but I just need to put me first. And that's what I talked about in my mental health. And sometimes you have to put yourself first just so you can make sure that you're okay, because if you're not okay, how are you going to take care of everything else? So that's one thing that has changed for my plants and my plant collection. I also haven't been adding as many plants to my plant collection. If you guys know, I did decide to take a break from plant collecting. I did only order one plant since doing those collective hauls, which I'm very proud of. I've only ordered one more plant since April, so I've been doing a really good job. And then other than that, I haven't really seen any plants to get that gives me that plant itch. You guys know, like I know you guys know about the plant itch, but there hasn't been like a plant that just like makes me want to take it home. I mean, I even went to a plant shop. I just came back from Connecticut, but I went to a plant shop and there was nothing that really, you know, called to me, which if a plant calls to me, that's usually when I purchase a plant, but there wasn't really a plant that called to me. And so that's the reason why I walked out with no plants. But this was a beautiful plant shop in Connecticut, and I think it's called Bark and Vine. And I will put some pictures in. It was so beautiful. The aesthetic was nice. The plants were well taken care of. They had all kinds of plants from anthuriums to philodendrons. They had a ton of prayer plants. Most of them I did have, except for there was a Calathea cora, and then there was a Calathea leopardina. And that one would have been the one that I probably would have taken home, you know, if I wasn't focusing on not collecting any more plants. It was a beautiful Calathea. But like I said, I'm not really buying plants right now. And plus, I was in Connecticut. It was really hot. I think it was about 97 degrees or so. And so I wasn't really going back to the hotel after that, so it wouldn't have made sense to pick up that plant and then have it sit in a car and possibly, you know, suffer from heat damage. So, but like I said, it was a very beautiful place. The other reason why I've taken a back burner to plant collecting is just because after the pandemic, I want to be able to have more experiences. I want to be able to live life. Like, the pandemic just really made me, you know, take a step back and just evaluated how my life was going. And was I satisfied with my life? And there's a lot of things that I want to change, you know, for the better. I do want to be able to experience life more, and so I have been doing a little bit of traveling. I haven't been going crazy, and I've been, you know, traveling safely, still wearing my mask and everything like that, but I want to just be able to enjoy life more, and it's hard to do that when you have a lot of plants. And even though we don't want to admit it, it's hard to, you know, separate yourself from your plants when you go out for extended period of time. Even for a weekend trip, you're like, oh my goodness, are my plants going to be okay? Are they going to be okay for 4 days? Are they going to be okay for 3 days? You have ferns or calatheas or anthuriums. Those plants do like to have more moisture, so you're like, oh my goodness, are they going to be okay? Then you have to worry about, you know, watering them before, or possibly getting self-watering pots. And then if you take an extended trip, say a week or two, then you're really worrying about your plant collection. And so I found myself worrying about my plant collection when I first started getting out into the world again. And I don't really want to have that mindset of, can I leave my plants and will they be okay? If I come back home, will I have a house full of dead plants? And I found myself thinking about that, and even watching other YouTubers and watching them travel and having the same kind of anxiety and stress. I don't want to go down that road. So I decided that I wasn't really adding any more plants to my collection right now, because like I said, I want to experience the world. I want to make sure that I'm happy, and like I said, it's hard to do when you're constantly adding plants to your collection. You have to increase your maintenance, your routines. You're afraid to leave them for God knows how long, and it sort of becomes a hindrance, even though a lot of us don't want to admit it, but it is. And so that's another reason. And also with just having plants, and if you're constantly adding plants to your collection, having a plant collection can be an amazing hobby. It can be very fulfilling and fun. It can be a source of therapy, a nice lifestyle, but it can also be pretty expensive depending on what kind of plants or how often you like to buy plants. And I find that if I'm constantly buying plants, it takes away from the things that I need to do for myself. Like I said, I want to travel, or, you know, if I just want to get better food for myself, if I want to buy more organic food or things like that, or even if I want to buy myself a nice outfit. If I go crazy on my plant collection, then that takes away from other areas in my life that I either want to do better on, you know, I just want to improve, or, you know, even add to certain areas. And so that's another reason why I have taken a step back, because there are so many other things that I want to do, and I just want to make sure that I'm not spending all my money on plants. And yeah, so those are some things that I've been doing with my plant collection, why I've kind of taken a step back. There's a lot of maintenance that I need to do with my plants, and I will be doing a repot coming up. I also need to do a watering video. I did water a lot of the plants in my bedroom, because when I did come back from my trip, a lot of my prayer plants were hitting that range where I did need to water them. So I did take care of those, but I can always do a watering video as well. But yeah, so I just wanted to make this quick video just to talk about, you know, things that I've been feeling lately regarding my plants, and just feeling like I just want to be a part of the world, even if it's just taking a walk at a park, which I recently did get to do. And I could talk about my experiences in my repot video, but it was just a nice time just to get out in the world and take a walk, even if it's in the, you know, a different city or a different state. It was just a nice thing to do for myself. And I also realized how out of shape I am, and so that is one thing that I need to work on, because that walk just took everything out of me, and that's another area of my life that I need to improve and get back on track, because I should not be getting out of breath from a walk. But yeah, if you guys have any comments or anything regarding your plant collection, or if you guys are feeling the same way, or if you're feeling differently, let me know. You guys always know I'm interested to know. And always, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching my videos, liking and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.